You, psst, psst, yeah, you, come here. Come here. Nice and close. You want to buy some contraband confessions, verboten verse, blasphemous benedictions, deplorable dogma? Oh no. You sicko. You want the hard stuff, don't you? You want the Forbidden Psalms. Well, luckily, I've got a box full of them here. Yeah. Let's get this open. Roll the dice! Forbidden Psalm is miniature gaming at the end of the world. It was kickstarted in November 2023 by Kevin Rahman. Over 1,800 backers pledged over £76,000 to bring this project to reality, and arrived in good time in May 2024. But is it any good? Forbidden Psalm is based on the rules and setting of Merkborg, the doom metal at the end of the world tabletop RPG game, one of the old school Renaissance games that prioritises flavour over rules. So let's unbox this package of unsavoury delights. Right, so let's have a look inside. So we've got a big pile of books inside. So we have got a whole bunch of stuff in bubble wrap. Get rid of that. We have got, okay, we'll come to these bits in a second. Oh, we've got some good stuff. First of all, Forbidden Psalm itself. So this is the reissued hardback rulebook, or a definitive edition, I think it was sold as. The main rules haven't changed, but it's got a few tweaks and incorporating rules from elsewhere. I backed at the all-in physical edition, so I think it's about £50. So we've got that one there. We've also got this, The Collection of Death, which is a collection of expansions and such like. Now, I think a few of the Kickstarter stretch goals went in here. This is hefty. This is quite a big, chunky boy. I didn't expect it. Oh, just over 150 pages, which is way more than I expected from an expansion book. So that's quite nice. We've got a Warband book here for recording the details of the members of your crew, your warband, their deeds, their misadventures, and their deaths, according to the back. That's a nice soft back. We've got, compatible with Mortborg, we've got the Vault of the Mad Wizard. I don't think he's going to be leaping over stuff. I think it's Vault as in like where he's storing things. I could be wrong though. Could be a champion high jumper using his magic to cheat. We've got some tokens here, token sheets, and we've got a map, which we'll have a look at in more detail later. Oh, a double-sided map of... We've got a graveyard on one side and some ruins on the other, with a little well in the middle for pushing orphans down. Okay, so let's dive in properly. I always go to the end in this. I think there's like a bit of me that wants value for money, a cheapskate part of me. We've got 175 pages worth of stuff. It's a nice solid page count. Nice hardback. You can bend it and open it, and it's whichever binding it is where the spine won't actually break. Ooh, pretty. So they've got the inside bit to match the artwork style. Mortborg has a very, very distinctive artwork style. Okay, let's have a quick peek. You know what? I do like a bit of neon pink these days. Pretty. We get pink t-shirts. Critical Twits t-shirts available on redbubble.com. Critical Jamie, you camera shy man. Pick me a number between 1 and 100.
65.
65. And then pick me another number between 1 and 100.
12.
12. Your new name is Conan the Clone. Let's do one more.
4.
4. Okay. Ooh.
99.
So this one is Saint the Taboo. They're quite cool names. I'd like to make little minis. I'd like to make a Saint the Taboo model. Maybe just Saint Taboo. That'd be quite cool. Yeah, so what we've got first of all is we've got a quick reference guide at the beginning, which is always good. They do have like a lot of pages of like flavour. So again, one of the things with the OSR RPGs and I suppose OSR miniature games now is kind of that style, not overly complex set of rules, and then kind of using the rest for kind of the feel of the game to try and get you into kind of the tone of what you're playing. Again, similar style to Morkborg. I quite like the style, but some people don't. You do you. The proof might be in the pudding, as they say. So if you want us to do a little bit of a review after we've had a few games, again, get in those comments, let us know. On the back here, it says it's a game of blood, metal, death, and socks. You know, I wonder what's going on with the socks. And I've just found, I think this is a mission, the Eater of Socks. I caught one of the little buggers. Smelly little thief. Now I know who has my socks. Vripix has found those he claims have been stealing his socks for the last few weeks and he wants them back. Go get the little goblins. And then you have to go and explore the goblin holes and go and get his socks back. Okay. I think Morkborg, kind of Merkborg even, lends itself to a kind of dark humour, but also, when I've played, a bit of a kind of Monty Python and the Holy Grail kind of feel to what's going on. I think they've embraced it a little bit more in here. I think that's fine. I quite like that. Oh, okay. I said about the art style. Morkborg has a style. I feel like some of the bits on this are leaning away from that, and in a good way. So we've got a few pictures of minis, which is quite nice. We've got some bits there. This is cool. This immediately jumped out. And this again is pictures of miniatures. They look really cool. It's important to say at the beginning that Forbidden Psalm is miniatures agnostic. And what that means is that you can use any miniatures that you like in order to represent your characters, the monsters they'll be facing and that kind of thing. But it does mean that no minis come in the box. So you'd need to source them elsewhere. A few years ago, I'd have found that infuriating. These days, there's all sorts of companies online. You can also print your own miniatures, etc., etc. You go to a convention. We went to the UK Board Games Expo last year, and there were dozens upon dozens of manufacturers, each with dozens upon dozens of different models. You can kind of find your own. I think it'd be fine. So I'm not too worried about that. And actually, it can be quite nice browsing different models where you're not just buying Space Marines and related gubbins all the time. Because the system is miniatures agnostic, you can also raid your existing collection for other models that maybe could work, maybe that you haven't used yet. For instance, Dark Souls, the miniatures game, or the board game, whatever you are, with your weird rules that make no sense, I could rummage through here and find some inspiration for different characters using miniatures I haven't touched for probably 5 or 6 years. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can find Conan the Clone and Saint Taboo. Ooh, Saint Taboo. Let's have a look. So we're going to find Conan the Clone and Saint Taboo in this box, hopefully. Oh, the dials. No one cares anymore. You died like my soul when I played the game. It got better. It wasn't the worst, but it's just so fiddly and repetitive. And I know, like, anyway, this isn't a review of this game. Good dice though. A lot of people back board games because of the models, like Cool Mini or Not do that kind of thing where it's like, here's a board game, but it comes with 5,000 pretty models. And sometimes I think I'm tempted more by the models than by the game itself. So this is good. This is good. If you're addicted to Kickstarter or back a kit or whatever it might be, your crowdfunding platform of choice, this might be a good way to get more value out of your models. So we've got like the generic things. We've got some skelebobs. They all look a little bit too clean for a Morkborg related game. But we do have got the heroes. The heroes. The heroes in a lovely brown plastic. We've got, it's not particularly religious looking. Got the knight, the standard Dark Souls knight. He's all right. We've got a guy that looks like a giant dwarf. That's confusing. And a man gesturing. This could be Conan the Clone. I feel Conan the Clone could be this kind of guy. But what I did just remember is, after doing all of this chaos, as you can see here, there's another one over there. I've got multiple expansions because I kickstarted Dark Souls, the board game, and I haven't opened any of them. They're still in their shiny plastic, and they just kind of, they've sat there for 5-6 years. But what I can do now is have a dig through and see what I've got in here. Would it be wrong to use a Solaire of Astora model for Saint the Taboo? Might be doing my Sunbro down. So yeah, so we've got maybe Solaire could be for Saint the Taboo, or maybe Spiky Kirk down here. He looks a bit fucking horrible, to be honest. What does Conan the Clone? Guy here with no face. That could be good. We've got, oh, Horace the Hushed. He's very, again, can't really see his face. That could be quite good. Oh, maybe the Swordmaster. But yeah, that's kind of the idea, is going through some of your old models and maybe getting more use out of something that's otherwise kind of passed you by. Oh, Saint the Taboo, right? So Saint the Taboo, we've got the gold trimmed robes. So he's got a sinister hood, got a bit of fire, maybe some forbidden taboo magic. I'd be digging that one out for Saint the Taboo, I think. Oh, yay! I didn't waste all of my money on a game I'm never going to play. Just some of my money. Oh. I've made myself sad but happy at the same time. It's a complicated day. So next book, The Collection of Death. This is the kind of scenarios expansion book. Floppy book, but sturdy. Not worried about that dying, I don't think. It's a collection of expansions for Forbidden Psalms, including such horrors as Dead Festival 1 and 2, so good it got a sequel. Dead Church, which is Broadchurch with zombies. Forbidden Wilderness, which is where you can't go outside. Rotten Bits, where you've been a bit naughty and you need to go and see the doctor. And much more. A copy of Forbidden Psalm is required to play these scenarios. Oh, hey buddy. Sorry, I've just seen that it says Space Penguin Inc. at the bottom of there, with a picture of what appears to be a fox. A fox's penguins from space. Okay. Oh, Warband name generator. So we've got Conan the Clone, we've got Saint the Taboo. Jamie, give me a number.
Well, the internet is going to be mad if I don't do this after the last time.
Okay.
So let's go with 69.
60 and 420. Mournful. And then another one.
42.
42. They are the Mournful Miseries. Actually quite good. And fun fact, in Morkborg, you roll to see if you get miseries after each game. And if you get 7 miseries, I think it is, the world ends and the campaign is over. So that's good. Does that count as a misery? Anyway. Ooh. And I said like that Morkborg thing of having kind of minimal rules, as it says, but that tone and style. There is... It's not huge. Oh, pretty. It's not huge amounts of depth and walls of text like some games, but I quite like that. It is quite pretty. Oh, I've just noticed that we've got rules for some of the core classes from Morkborg. So we've got Fang Deserter, Heretical Priest, Occult Herb Master, Gutter-born Scum, Esoteric Hermit, and Wretched Royalty. Oh, and a Forlorn Philosopher as well, which is fun to say as well as to play. And some more pictures of models that look really, really nice. I like the look of these. Fuck me. So I've just opened this to a random page. And there's a thing here called a squonk, which is... I think the picture speaks for itself, but it's having a great time. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think these have been compiled from different sources. You can see quite a difference in art style between something like that and something like this and something where it's more kind of focused on the miniatures themselves. I think that's a problem. I don't mind. I think it's quite good. So that's the Collection of Death. We've got this beautiful, lovely neon pink miniature zine. This has more tokens. Tips for playing games of Forbidden Psalm. Rescue the tokens. It's quite funny. British folklore. I think this bit, along with these printed out tokens, were they had a problem when they were coming up to deliver the Kickstarter to do with the tokens. The tokens were originally going to be die cut tokens. However, there was a printing error, and so we got this and cardboard sort of stick and cut out your own tokens. I personally absolutely fine with that. Thought I'd mention it, but it doesn't bother me at all. I do like a token, but I've got enough 30mm bases to last me a lifetime to stick these onto. I think that's absolutely fine. You may disagree. Tell me off in the comments. So yeah, 3 of these, including such lovely statuses as dead, diseased, poisoned, weapon, burn, bleed, and dead, but in a different colour. White dead with crumbs and pink dead with no crumbs. They're not crumbs. They'd be fragments or shards. You don't get skull crumbs. Skull crumbs aren't a thing. British folklore as well. You've got Black Shuck, Barguest, a Grindylow, Bloody Bones, Elder Mother, a Hunky Punk. I think they're starting to make stuff up now. The King of the Cats, Screaming Skull, the Shug Monkey, and the Tiddy Mun. Sit. You've got this Warband book. What have we got in here? I think we've got multiple warbands. So we've got place for recording your warband. This is nostalgic. The old Necromunda and Mordheim warband sheets are quite cool. Upgrades and stuff for keeping track of campaigns. A record of who has died and what killed them. Do we then? Yeah, we repeat that. 3 different warbands. Record your kills, what horrors have you ended and how. And then this is actually probably the most useful bit of having it as a separate book, is things like a quick reference. So you can root through for more specific stuff there, but you can have this next to the game while you're playing. Quick reference. I like a quick reference card. None of those slow references that drag things down. And then the most awkward thing, I showed you it at the beginning. So we've got a map there with a well and such like, and a map there of some more sort of generic ruins. Not the most exciting thing, but it's a nice way, I suppose, to delineate the playing area. And what was that? About 2 foot by 2 foot, I think? 2 foot by 2 foot. So if you can play a game on that, it's not going to take up too much space. So that's all the stuff I got. We've got the Forbidden Psalm rulebook. We've got the Collection of Death. We've got the Warband book, the Vault of the Mad Wizard. We've got some tokens, and we've got a map. 50 quid, plus some form of postage. So this is very comparable to the Morkball book. In fact, they look like they could be brothers, sisters, siblings, lovers. One slightly more jaundiced than the others. But I mean, I believe the Morkball book is about 30, 35 quid. That's kind of what something like this would go for. A zine, so a little zine like this, I don't know if people do it. A little zine could be a £5 to a £10, whereas this is a collection of different zines. So what have we got in here? At least 5 zines worth of material, according to that. Oh, we've got some collaborations as well. I've mentioned the company, I do believe, but we've got Geektopia Games, Westphalia Publishing, Dead Church Miniatures, Dungeons and Death, and some Forbidden Psalm community stuff. That's quite nice. So I wouldn't be averse to paying that much for it. You never know what you're getting with a Kickstarter. You never know the quality. This feels professional. This feels good. This feels quite good value for money. And this is bright pink. What more do you want from life? I think the key thing for me from this is I would like to play it. That's always good. You don't want to open up something new and go, why have I got that? The other thing is, I think it'd be really nice. I'm excited to dig through my collection of miniatures, especially the stuff like the Dark Souls, the board game, that hasn't really seen a use. it's giving me an excuse to crack them open, have a look at the models, and actually use those things, which when I'm using them and then want to paint them, and when I painted them, I'm going to put them on display. It's inspiring me to do other things, and that's always good. I may even open up and get out my boy Solaire, my sweet baby boy, and paint him up, and it's an excuse to do so, because as a miniature gamer, I've got enough miniatures to last me an entire lifetime piled up. So how do you choose? And the way I choose is, what am I actually going to use? What am I actually going to play with? And I buy lots of things to paint, and I go, yes, I'll paint that, and it's just for display. And then you go, but I need to paint some Terminators, or I need to paint a Chaos Spawn because I want to play a game, and it gets pushed to the back. I feel like there's an excuse maybe to take those beautiful models and then apply them to the rules of the game. There's rules for monsters as well, so it's not just going to be human miniatures. It can be some of your Gribblies as well. So yeah, I feel inspired. I feel like I definitely want to play. The proof is always in the playing. So does it play well? I know the Morkborg rules. They are incredibly simple. You roll a d20, you add a couple numbers, you've got a target number to hit. It's fairly simple. Obviously, it doesn't include things like movement and maybe more complex actions that are wargame specific. But I'm excited, I'm interested, and I've just seen that there are sock counters. Sock counters. Official sock counters. And more dead counters. I feel like lots of things are going to die. So yeah, that is Forbidden Psalm, a miniatures game at the end of the world. If you'd like us to take a proper look, if you'd like us to play some games, and maybe record them, or to give you a full-on review, let us know in the comments. If no one wants to do it, then I'll probably still play it and have a go. I just won't tell you about it. It'll be my dirty little secret. So that's it for another Critical Twits video. If you like this, if you've enjoyed it and you're still watching, please ping us a like. If you really, really like it, subscribe. And if you've already done all of those things, you can head over to our website, www.criticaltwits.com. We've got links to Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, probably some young people's social media that I, as an old man with grey in his beard, don't even know about. We also have a merch store. So if you want to support us directly, you can buy these beautiful, beautiful shirts. I feel like I'm puffing up like an angry animal. I'm not trying to fight you. I'm not going to beat you up if you don't buy merch. But we have all those things. You can also check out the Critical Twits podcast, which has been running for many a year now and has many, 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 many episodes on all sorts of different tabletop gaming topics. And you can check out our actual play RPG podcast, Roll in the Dark, which will shortly, we're still making it at this particular time, but we are going to be playing some Morkborg and recording it for your ears to enjoy, and hopefully the rest of you as well. So please check out all of our channels. Thank you very much for still being here, and until next time, goodbye. Critical Twits. In every game, the excitement never quits. Critical, roll the dice. In every turn, a new surprise. I could do the thing from the Squonk.